Good morning, and welcome to the 21st episode of my Trying to Conceive journey with Bonnie. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. If you've been here before, you are part of our family. My name is Sandra Jones-Keller, and I'm the Intuitive Pregnancy Coach with the CCFL Global Academy. And I teach you and help you to have more peace and joy in your pregnancy journey and your trying to conceive journey. So today we are going to start diving a little deeper. I'm feeling kind of emotional and I'm feeling a lot of different things. So today we are going to talk about what could be blocking you from trying to conceive. Good morning, Bonnie.
Oh, good morning, Sandra. Thank you for having me again. 21 weeks. Oh my gosh.
It's going by fast, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I know you've shared your story quite a bit about, you had miscarriages and then the first time, but I want to address that again because a lot of people have not heard what we've been talking about. So just real quick, talk about your miscarriages and talk about the first session we had and the information that came up for you.
Well, absolutely. Well, first of all, it took me a whole year to actually get a positive on a pregnancy test. And so when I got the positive, I was really, really excited. And about a week later, of course, it ended up being a early miscarriage. And then about 3 or 4 months later, it happened again. And about 3 or 4 months later, it happened again. So this was last July. And Sandra, I met you probably in the springtime. So it was a few months after that I had my final miscarriage last July. And I have to say, do you remember me calling you in July when I was waiting for my cycle and I said I didn't know if I wanted to think about being pregnant or think about getting my cycle, and I was really in a state of confusion. Do you remember that? So I wasn't in a state of, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant and this is so great and I'm going to have a baby. I was really still driving myself crazy. So the journey of working with you, first off, is you did get me directed back to source, back to the energy, the powers to be, what some would call God. You brought me back to the source. And so it was a process. Even in July, I was still fighting it a little bit. And so it's only been the last couple of months, Sandra, that I've completely just let go, and I just know that it's going to happen, and I've been visualizing my little egg all shiny, and whether it was last month or whether I'm creating it for a month or two down the road, I'm not worried about it. I'm just enjoying my life and what I'm doing.
And that's what it's about, Bonnie. It's about in this moment enjoying your life. And last week I started talking about your uterus as a garden and weeding the garden. And so this week I just want to get a little more specific. And so there are millions of women who have had miscarriages who have been trying to conceive. And what I want to talk about is not pregnancy as biology, but pregnancy as a spiritual agreement and pregnancy as a spiritual growth process for you out there. And so when you think about getting pregnant and you think about a garden, if you were to go out into your garden and there were weeds from last year, there were rocks and things that would not allow your beautiful vegetables to grow, the first thing you would do is you would start cleaning it out. So let's consider what energetic blocks you may have to conceiving. What is in there that you may be holding on to? Now, Bonnie, Danny, your unborn baby who you've connected with, has said he did not want to be controlled. But there are a myriad of other reasons why these babies are not incarnating. For example, I did a reading with one who desperately wanted to have a baby. And so in the reading, she saw a vision of herself as a mother. And then she's a lawyer and she's working and she has very specific goals that she wants to achieve. So when I did the reading on her, I literally saw her two goals going this way. And it was like two different roads, and it wasn't like maybe a path this way. They were two completely different divergent paths, like as big as New York and California. And so what you want to start considering is, Are your goals in alignment with the mother that you want to be? Are there any energy blocks? I did another reading with a client who had a miscarriage. And when I looked at her uterus, it was like a big bowling ball was there. And so when I connected with the baby, the spirit of the baby, it literally said there was no room in there for it to incarnate. And so these are the types of things that you can start asking yourself, what may be blocking me from conceiving this baby that I want? And I'm not talking biology, I'm not talking about hormones and all that, because you have plenty of information out there to deal with that. I'm talking about emotions. I'm talking about your consciousness. I'm talking about fears. I'm talking about resistance. Bonnie, is any of this making sense, or am I just talking here?
Oh, it makes complete sense to me, Sandra, because that's what I was trying to get to a few minutes ago, is I was offering so much emotional resistance and creating so much stress for myself. In fact, I went to acupuncture and introduced myself as, I'm Bonnie Leota and I'm infertile. Like, I had deemed myself it was never going to happen. And so, yeah, you're right on. A lot of resistance, and that's what I'm saying. I'm just learning to let that resistance go now, because you're right. I couldn't have a baby right now with everything going on in my life, and sometimes, sometimes the higher power knows your path better than you do. So I'm just now waiting for the right time, and I don't care what any, biological doctor or whatever tells me. If there's a 1% chance that you can conceive, there's a 1% chance that you can conceive, right? So
absolutely, because we go back to these are spiritual agreements, and I say that the spiritual agreement with the soul of the baby supersedes any biology. And I've seen it time and time again. When there is a baby that is wanting to come through, that has agreed to come through, that there is a spiritual contract here, that baby will find its way to you. And so a lot of you out there are having miscarriages, you're trying to conceive, and you've gone to the doctor, you've taken all this medication, and there's really no logical reason. So I'm saying to you, start journaling, start meditating, start taking moments of stillness to get in touch with your higher level of consciousness, so that the information can start coming through as to what may be blocking you from trying to conceive.
I want to talk on that just for a moment, because last night I went in for meditative time and went and had a bath and turned off all the lights and turned on a candle. And when I was laying in the bath, my mind was, wanting to think about this and think about that and think about this and think about that. And so I just want to throw this out there, that I just laid there and cleared my mind of anything and just repeated words like happiness, joy, love, gratitude, abundance, peace. And I just repeated these words until pictures started to show up in my mind, and those inspired ideas and actions that feel so good, well, that's when you write them down, and that's your higher power speaking to you through your mind, through pictures of your mind. So it's pretty amazing and fun, and it just feels so right.
Absolutely, and it doesn't cost anything. We're talking about spending a quiet time with yourself to find out what you need on your pregnancy journey and on your trying to conceive journey. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for being with me, Bonnie. Thank you so much for joining us out there. If you like these videos, please like them and share them. Tell your friends about them. We are doing these and we're sharing our stories to assist you in having more peace, joy, and love in your life. Visit my websites to get your top 10 tips proven to help you with a deeper spiritual bond with your baby, like the CCFL Global Academy. Until next week, have a fantastic day. Thank you.